Hello everyone, Chris here. In today's video, I'd like to give you an Ana guide I wish I had when I just started playing the game. I will explain everything you need to know about her abilities, left clicks, nano usage, and all the questions that you might have about the character that no one was able to answer yet. Let's get started. The first thing I'd like to explain are going to be nuances when it comes to your left click. With the recent nerf in Season 6, Ana will not be able to 2-tap Tracer, and this is going to be a major indirect buff. But in reality, I have never seen a good Tracer below Master's level, so you are absolutely not in danger in that regard. When it comes to your left click, you have 3 options on the market right now. You can go for a Hipfire, you can go for a scoped shot, or you go for a Quickscope. And let me explain the difference and the situations that you have to use each one of them. When it comes to your hit scan, when it comes to your Hipfire, you have to keep in mind that it only works when you are very, very close to your teammates or you are pocketing a tank. Unfortunately, when you are just left-clicking, this is a very slow projectile, a little bit faster than Zenyatta's, but still slow enough to really predict the movement of your teammates and enemies, as they can really unconsciously try to juke your shots. I have missed so many crucial shots that would decide whether I will be able to win the game or lose the game, when my player would just jump over my shot or he would go in a different direction, and this is very, very sad. When it comes to hip firing an enemy, Ana received a minor buff, as it's a little bit easier to land them when it comes to just left clicking, but in reality you are a healer for the most part, and your job is to apply pressure with your nade and go for the heals on your team. Keep your tank alive, keep your DPS alive, and make sure that your second support is not in danger of dying. We will speak about it a little bit later. Now let's talk about the scoped shot. The problem with scope shot is the fact that you are very slow in it. I feel like you are slowed like 60 to 70% from your initial speed, and this can be exceptionally difficult when it comes to fighting Hanzo, Widowmaker, Ashe, and other DPS that will take advantage of that and just absolutely devour you alive if you just stand still. So what you can do instead is you can go for the Hipfire, but we will speak about it a little bit later as well. When it comes to scoped shot, your shot becomes an instant, and it's a lot easier to predict where your teammates are gonna go, and you don't even need to predict, you just shoot and it's really goes where you are aiming it. In terms of the quick scopes, I really like it when you need to quickly heal an echo that's flying up in the air without the mercy pocket. You really need to quickly go for a kill on a one-shot target and then run away from danger yourself, because most of the time you are gonna get contested when you are playing Ana. It's not like you are a character that just stands still and has no pressure on him. So in order to go for the quickscope, this can be a little bit tricky with timing, but you just need to practice. This is a technique that you just have to learn how to use yourself. There is no real way to tell you. There is no blueprint that I can give you, so you're like, oh, now I understand. Everything comes with practice. When it comes to your left clicks, not many people know that it has a piercing effect, and if your dude is full HP, you are going to heal a person behind them. So as you can see, this dude is getting healed while I am not even looking at him, right? So both of them are full health, while in reality of this scenario, they should be dead. Try that again. As you can see, I don't have a line of sight of this guy, yet he is getting healed. So you can use that when it comes to you shooting your DPS to heal him while he's playing in front of the tank, which is really, really stupid, or vice versa, right? Moving on to one of the best abilities in the game, Anti. or like a nade, or whatever it's called. I have no idea. We can check that. It's called biotic nade. No one calls it like that. When it comes to your nade, you have to understand that it has to be used in the most effective way possible, which is going to be to apply pressure on the enemy team while simultaneously relieve pressure from your team. I have watched so many VODs of professional players on Ana, and for the most part, they go for something like this. Let's imagine your situation where you are just heal-botting your teammates, you are peeking out and in of the corner, and then you have your nade ready. You can use your microphone to say that you have your nade ready and you are looking for it. You say, I'm looking for a nade, you throw it, and then keep going for your teammates. You have to understand that when you are going for the playstyle of like an assassin, when you are going for the kills and you're thinking that you are the best DPS out there and your teammates are not gonna carry the game, you kinda not fulfilling your purpose while being completely inefficient. The fact that you have to keep your teammates alive and comfortable so they can land their shots and expect you to heal them if they are gonna be in danger, because support ultimately is a character that fixes the mistake of other people. Let me turn on the AC and we will continue. When it comes to Nade, you can also use it to heal your teammates from inevitable death. There are so many moments where he would have been dead without it, yet you kept him alive. You have to usually use this when your tank ins and goes in without like any heals and overcommits, or you just need to save a teammate and you came to the fight late after death, or again he just way out of position to save you. As well as you can use the nade to heal yourself. I see so many Ana players die without it. Just like, just kill me, don't worry. I'm gonna be absolutely fine. When it comes to nading yourself, you have to understand that you wanna nade a person that's trying to kill you, whether it's going to be a dive character that approaches from top, or you're just dying from cringe from Ash. You quickly nade yourself and you are ready to pocket your teammates yet again. You have to understand that when you are going for a nade on yourself, this is a massive net negative kind of thing, because imagine you land a nade and anti onto two players and then find a kill on one of them. This is going to be exceptionally huge, as you'll just be able to be in an advantage. You're going to be up one right from the start. Just like in chess, when you are up in terms of your figures, you don't want to stand still, you just want to press W and get that advantage. And when you're down a piece, you wanna go for like a solidify playstyle, fall back, give space, and then never trade pieces, as it's not gonna be advantageous for you. So this is pretty much everything you need to know about Nade, although there is there is one more thing that I need to tell you, is the fact that you can cancel your animation when it comes to your Nade, your reload animation. So imagine that you are going for the heals on your teammates, and then you reload, boom, and you are ready to heal again. Notice how much faster it was in comparison with me, like boom, 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 right? So it cancels the animation, and the trick is to look for Ana when she gets the magazine right in the gun, or like I don't really understand how it's called in English, but right there, right? Did you see that? I'm gonna show that one more time, but in reality this is going to save a life of your tank, as you can nade both your tank and the enemy one, as in the most brawl comps with Ramatra, Reinhardt, Arisa, and their mirrors, you'll be able to find great value with it. So we can go for it again, you reload and you throw it, right? This is going to be insanely useful. When it comes to mistakes that you have while going for nades, I see so many players just throw it in fight while no one is ready to follow up on it. So when you are going for the nade, you either need to follow it up with the damage yourself. So you go for a position on an off angle, right? Let's imagine that your tank is fighting here and you're going for a position at an off angle. So you want to nade and follow it up with your damage. You can easily kill a squishy target if you land all of these shots. So you need to understand that when you're going for the nade, something needs to happen after, or it's just going to be wasted potential and supports are going to heal. And there's just nothing you can do to save the day, to be honest. When it comes to other ways that you can go for it is you can call it for your dive tank. Imagine you are playing with Winston, imagine you are playing with Doomfist, imagine you are playing with Wrecking Ball, and every single time you go for a very massive nade, your dive tank can follow it up with the damage. Imagine you throw a nade onto 3 people and Winston jumps in to save the day, right? He kills this guy for free, and then maybe you can continue with that domination, get more space, get more value out of your kit. So this is pretty much everything you need to know about the nade. In order to use it correctly, you just need to learn how to throw it at the longer distances. You need to learn how to throw it for like to get insane value. Honestly, this is one of the coolest abilities in the game, as you deny so much opportunities for the opponents, especially if they make mistakes. Let's go for the sleep dart, and when it comes to the sleep dart, you have to understand that this is very hard to use ability with very high skill ceiling, and many players use it in a wrong way. So your sleep dart sleeps the target for 5.5 seconds, I believe, and if it is a tank, it will sleep him for 3.5 seconds, and you have to really understand and ask yourself, what are the characters that are playing against me? What are the characters that I am afraid of as Ana player? Imagine you take a position, an advantageous one, somewhere around here. Your team is fighting up there, right? And you are not really in danger. You are playing behind the cover like a good boy. You are constantly moving, so it's quite hard to get a kill onto you, right? So you are not exposing your hitbox or like head hitbox a lot. But there is a catch. They have dive, they have Wrecking Ball, they have Doomfist, they have Genji. What do? You are saving your sleep. I see so many players like throw their cooldowns and like, ooh, I'm useful. And then they like heal for a few seconds, then they miss a few shots, and then they lose the fight, and then they nano a person that's not gonna do anything, and this is your typical Ana gameplay. What you're gonna do instead is you go for a sleep when enemy is about to approach you. I find it exceptionally difficult to sleep Tracers and Genji. It is almost impossible to sleep a good Genji. You just have to be an exceptionally good player, or he has to waste all of his cooldowns. The same with Tracer. The easiest targets to sleep are going to be Wrecking Balls when he's about to slam or slams the ground. Doomfist is very easy to sleep when he's in his E form blocking. Pretty much every single tank is pretty easy to sleep, although note that sleeps don't go through the shields. So Reinhardt's, Ramatras with the shield are going to be a little bit of a problem for you. When it comes to sleeping for nothing, as you don't have any dive threats, I also don't feel like you really need that. I want to use sleeps when I am 90% sure I'm gonna land it, right? So if I'm gonna sleep this guy, you see it's like he just stopped for a millisecond and now my sleep is completely gone, as it's a projectile, which is pretty hard to land. You have to really understand what are you using it for. Like, what will you achieve with this sleep? For most of the part, you will be able to just like heal bot your teammates, go for antis, and heal bot them again. There is no room for you to sleep. There is no room for you to like even do anything. You can cancel some ultimates, such as Ash's Bob. You can go for sleep onto the Sigma that's going up in the air. You can sleep Moira out of the coalescence. You can go for many more cancellations, and if you are able to land a sleep onto a squishy target, you can use your microphone and go for a 3-2-1, right? Get a kill onto him. Unfortunately, this was a horrible showcase of what you have to do with the sleep, and there are tactics that will allow you to kill an opponent yourself or bring him to a very low HP. If you don't have anywhere or anyone around you and you want to capitalize on that sleep, the combination is gonna be pretty simple. You wanna left click, nade, left click, melee, right? I'm gonna explain it once again, as my nade is going to get off the cooldown. So let's imagine you are fighting some demons inside and you were able to land a sleep onto the ash. You say 3, 2, 1, sleep, nade. Oh, excuse me. Shoot, nade, shoot, and melee, right? So shoot, nade, shoot, melee, right? And you sleep that guy, shoot, boom, boom. This guy's gonna be dead, right? When it comes to killing Tracer, you have to ask for help of your DPS that's around or the tank, as Tracer can just press E and she will be able to escape the danger, as your damage is not instant, it has some like time on it, right? When it comes to nano usage, I found it so much easier to like go for my nano when my teammates are asking for it. I really cannot see from the point of view of my teammates. I cannot see what they see. I cannot see what cooldowns they have and are they on the cooldown, right? So the only thing I can do is to go for nano while someone asks for it, or he's in danger, or you understand that he has a key ultimate that you can use for. The best ultimates to use with nano are going to be Blade with the Genji, are going to be Soldier ultimate, which is Tactical Visor. Pharah Barrage is really nice when it comes to nano. You can sometimes nano Bastion in his form, and I see so many players make the mistake of nanoing a person that's not ready with the cooldowns, right? Because Overwatch is a game of resources and you need to constantly think about how can I get the most value out of what I have. In terms of tanks, you can pretty much nano every single tank and they are going to love it, although Sigma is kind of a wacky nano target, as well as you will not find much value out of nanoing Wrecking Ball, although they are still very much fine to nano, as you will be able to find value on most of these tanks. When it comes to support, I found it really nice when you can nano Brig while she is using her ultimate and fights the demons with her mace. And then for the most part, there is not a single support that's really worth it to nano, except that you're in a 2v1 situation and you just need to nano someone, right? When it comes to tips and tricks on nano, you have to understand that there are certain options that you can use for Ana in order to gain advantage, right? One of them is going to be Nano Boost requires target confirmation. Let's actually go for settings right now. First of all, you need to understand that your sensitivity needs to be very slow, but not slow enough so you cannot like do a 360 comfortably, because Ana is a character that requires you to really turn around a lot when it comes to playing versus dive, when it comes to like healing very, very close and going for the hipfire shots like that, right? So my personal sensitivity is 1600 DPI 2.7. It means that if I move my mouse from left to right and look at this fence, right? Oopsie doopsie. Okay, let's look at Ash instead of the fence so you understand. So I have my mouse on the top left of my mousepad and I'm moving it around. You can see I'm doing a lot more than 360. It's going to be like 480 or something, maybe even more than that. So yeah, it is very comfortable for me. You can go for different sensitivities and try them out for yourself. It's gonna depend on your like weight of your mousepad size, your mousepad cloth type, your mousepad. There are so many factors, and if you are comfortable playing on sensitivity like 4, where you are like going like this, like it's completely all right. And if you're comfortable playing on lower sensitivity, it's also completely fine. This is the most individual thing that you can go for, and it's not a problem if you are going for something that's out of norm, if it's comfortable for you and brings you results. When it comes to other settings on Ana, make sure that your controller settings are absolutely off. Unfortunately, for some reason, they are messing up your PC input when you are playing on mouse and keyboard, although you have no controller plugged in and stuff. Make sure that your settings are turned off. When it comes to a crosshair, I'm using a dot, which is like 0 everything right here, and then 100, outline thickness 1, and then like a 5 size dot works absolutely best for me. coolest part about the settings comes right here. This is going to be both default. I've seen some players go for always and contextual, but I found it to be a little bit FPS demanding, so I turn it off. It's not a big problem if you play without allied health bars and friendly outlines possible. Recoil, recovery, aim compensation. What it does is it basically brings your crosshair back. You see that I'm shooting and my crosshair goes in the same line over and over again. If you have that setting off, what it will do is it's going to, like, I don't know, nothing changed to be honest, but oh no, it actually changed. So you can see that my shots are a little bit like random or something. I don't know. I know some players who are using these settings, but a setting like this, but I personally don't like it. So I play with it on. When it comes to toggle zoom, you don't want to go for it. This is horrible. This is horrible for quickscopes. This is horrible for your overall movement. And this is one more input that you absolutely don't need. So every single time you have toggle zoom, you need to go for hold. When it comes to relative aim sensitivity while zoomed, this is going to be your 1-to-1 ratio between your hipfire sensitivity and your right-click sensitivity, right, when you are zooming in. This is very important as the default setting is going to be 50, I believe, and 50 is a little bit faster than your hipfire sensitivity, and you have to adjust your muscle memory all the time to get the best out of it, which is completely not good, and I personally absolutely hate it. So I have it on 37.89, which is a 1-to-1 ratio. If you are playing on 1920 to 1080 and 0.103 field of view. That's going to be that. When it comes to Nano Boost requires target confirmation, I personally have it off as I don't feel the need to nano someone behind the wall. But when you have that, you can actually go for it and it will allow you to heal a target, or excuse me, go for the nano on a target that's behind the wall. As you can see, I have a delay, which allows me to nano him while he's like that, right? While in reality, you will never be able to do that when it comes to playing without this setting. Also, you will never be able to fat finger the nano if you have to constantly confirm it. I don't know, I never played with it. As you can see, I don't have an option to nanoing this person. I might actually turn it on. This is very interesting because, like, as you can see, I'm tapping my Q. I don't have an option to nano him, and then with it, I have it. Right? This is actually very interesting. This is very interesting. I might go for it. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty valuable, and I feel like it is going to win one team fight out of 50 easily, just because you nanoed the person while it was completely not the option to nano him. When it comes to your positioning, you have to understand a few key principles when it comes to Ashe and the ability to be useful for your team. First of all, you want to play as far as you possibly can while looking at your teammates. For example, if this would be a ranked map, this position can be exceptionally... Can I break the fence here? No. Okay. This position can be pretty good because I am not exposing myself to the enemies as they don't have any line of sight on me, but I can see my teammates, I can follow them up with the nade, I can go for the nano. Bro, this is actually so good. Why did I never use that? Oh my god, man. I'm such a dumbass, but it's okay. When it comes to positioning, you want to prioritize high grounds. You want to prioritize spots where you are so far away that people have no range advantage over you. Like, let's imagine the situation where you are playing versus Cassidy, and he is right there. This is the Cassidy, the standard bot. He will never be able to outplay me while I am standing here. As well as notice how I'm never in the open, so they can see me with the line of sight. I am always behind the cover, so I can play around it, right? When it comes to your positioning after you won a team fight, every single time you win a team fight, you need to think about where you want to stand next. This is very important as setting up will win you so many games in the future. Let's imagine you had a fight up there and now you can move forward and go for a fight right here. Notice how much more advantageous my position is. While I'm on high ground, I can always crouch behind it. I can always just go for Hipfire, and I am pretty much unkillable here if they don't have dive, such as like Diva, Winston, or anything else. As you can see that I can see my enemies, I can mark them, I can spy them. I wanted to say spy check, but that's not the word I would want to use. So positioning is exceptionally important on Ana, as you don't have any way to escape danger. Let's talk about comps, and we will continue this guide. Or excuse me, we will finish off this guide. When it comes to tanks, Ana is very, very strong with most tanks in the game, except Junker Queen and Sigma. For Sigma, you would want to go for Baptiste, because you are playing Sigma Baptiste on very narrow, long maps, such as Junkertown, Circuit Royale, and Havana, and your window is a lot more valuable than Nano, especially when it comes to nanoing Sigma. When it comes to Junker Queen, this character requires a lot of fast-paced comps with Lucio and Kiriko. This is going to be #1 best support combination to play with when you are playing Junker Queen, as you will be able to go in and out without losing efficiency, right? So on Junker Queen you want to press AD, AD, and you have a very slim model, which is pretty difficult to hit when you are playing Ana. Other than that, support is exceptionally good to play, and interesting thing is, if you would look at the leaderboard, you will be able to see that pretty much every single support player in top 500 is playing Ana. Ana. As you can see, this is one of the most popular characters in the game, and certainly the most popular support. And this is for a reason. This character is exceptionally powerful. If you look at this guy, he has 70% win rate. Thus, he was able to land himself a #1 spot on the list here. In terms of the maps, I feel like there is not a single bad Ana map, as you can utilize this character to the full potential. And when it comes to best combinations that you can use with your friends, my personal favorites are Ana Winston. My personal favorites are Ana Diva on verticality maps. Ana Ramatra is very nice. And in terms of DPS, you can play with pretty much everything. But when your player is playing like Soldier, Genji, so you go for this TikTok Nano Blade clips. This is very, very important or very cool. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's little guide. Hopefully you have learned something new and will improve your gameplay on Ana, get more wins, have more fun, and rank up as a result. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section if there is anything that I missed and should talk about. See you in the next one. Take care.